All right, hello and welcome back. Today we are going to do our best to learn these two rules. The first is the chord-chord product theorem, and basically you don't need to write all of this down if you're taking notes, but draw the picture and write down this formula here. What we're saying is AE with a chord goes from one side of the circle to the other. So AE right here, and then EB is right there. So if we multiply those together, we will get the same thing as if we multiply CE, that's that chunk, and ED right there. That will always give us the same thing. So pause it, write this down, draw this picture. You don't need to write this down, but it will be equal. So if we look at our first example here, once again, we know that 2.34 and x go together. So 2.34x will equal whatever those other two are multiplied together. So 4.5 times 5.2 in our case. Now you can use a calculator to do this, but to save some time, I'm just going to do it for you. So 4.5 times 5.2, that does give us 23.4. If we go ahead and divide by 2.34, divide by 2.34, and we will get x equals 10. All right, on to the next one. Next one, same idea. Once again, solving for x. We'll do 10 times 2. That is on the one side, the one chord, will equal whatever 4 times x is. So 10 times 2 is 20. That equals 4x. We divide by 4. Divide by 4. We'll get x equals 5. All right, the next one. Same thing, except now we're looking for df as our final answer. But we started off the same, so 6 times x equals whatever 5 times 12 is. Once again, 6 right here, x. Meanwhile, 5 and 12, that makes up the other chord. 6x equals 5 times 12 gives us 60. We divide by 6, x equals 10, and we are good to go. We're done. Oh, sorry, we found what x is. I misspoke. We need to find df. So if I put 10 right here, df is from d all the way to f. We have to add those together. So 10 plus 6 gives us 16 for df. I got ahead of myself there. And our final one, like this, chord-chord relationship. AC here, we need to know what that whole thing is here. So we know that 16 times x, 16x equals whatever 8 times 5 is. 8 times 5 is 40. We'll divide by 16, divide by 16. X equals 2.5. And we're not done. We need to find what AC is. So x is the same as BC. Add that 16 on, we'll get 18.5. Now there's one other type of problem we're talking about today, and that's the secant-secant product theorem. And once again, you don't need to write the words, draw the picture. This is basically saying a secant is like a chord except it extends to the exterior. So we have two secants here, one from A to T right there. So if you take the whole secant times just right here, the exterior part, I guess I should do that in a different color, the exterior part, BT, you will get the same thing as the other whole secant times the exterior part right there. Okay, so the whole secant, we have one secant, the top and the bottom. The top one has everything. To get the whole secant, 8 plus 4 gives us 12. So the whole secant times the exterior part, that's the 4 right here, will equal what the whole secant is on the bottom. So in our case, 6 plus x, add those together, times the exterior part, which is 6. Then you distribute that 6 in, we'll get 48 equals 36 plus 6x. Subtract the 36, subtract the 36. 12 equals 6x. Divide by 6, and we'll get x equals 2. Same thing on the next one, except now we're finding TV. So we got the whole secant here. That whole thing is 18 times the exterior part right there. So that's 9 equals, now the whole thing on this is z plus 8 times the exterior part, which is 8. So 18 times 9, If we do that, we'll get 162. Distribute this in, 8z plus 64. Subtract the 64, and we'll be left with 98 equals 8z. Divide by 8, you get z equals 12.25. We'd be done, except it asks for what all of TV is. So TV, we know, goes from T to V. We need to take that 12.25 plus 8. We'll get 20.25 as our answer. All right, 2 more problems. This next one, the top secant has everything, so we'll do the whole thing. 11, 7 plus 4 is 11, times the exterior part, which is 4, equals, now the whole thing on the bottom, a plus 5, times the exterior, which is 5. Distribute that in. So 11 times 4 is 44, equals 5 times a, 5a, plus 5 times 5 is 25. Subtract the 25, subtract the 25. We'll get 19 equals 5a. Divide by 5, and we'll get a equals 3.8. Okay, at that point, we need to find what xv is, so we need to add that 5 on. We get 8.8 as our answer. I know I'm moving fast. Sorry, I don't have much time to finish filming this video. I want to get it done. The last one, the top secant, the whole thing, 10 plus 15 gives us 25, times the exterior part, which is 10, equals the whole thing. Now be careful here. We have 8. We also have an x. We also have a 2x. If we add all that up, 8 plus x plus 2x, x and 2x combined to 3x, and then times the exterior part, which is 8. So distribute that out. We get 250 equals 64 plus 24x. Subtract the 64, and we're left with 186 equals 24x. We divide, and we get x equals 7.75. All right, that is all for today. Hope you guys have a great day. Go on to Delta Math.